Hey guys, my name is JT. I'm the teaching director here at FSM, and we've been going through this sermon series called Death by Love. The sermon from last week was entitled The Righteousness of God and His Gift of Righteousness to Us. And we talked about the imputation of Christ's righteousness to us, as well as our imputation of our sin to Him. We got that from the text in 2 Corinthians 5:21. It says, God made Him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in Him we might become the righteousness of God. And a question that is a great question. It asked, if we've been imputed with Christ's righteousness, why do we still sin? And really that question comes out of experience, because we feel like the Bible is saying something that doesn't match up with our experience. If I'm righteous, and the Bible says I'm righteous, why do I still sin? Let me tell you this, your experience is true. We are all still sinners. We are all living unrighteous lives. And so the answer to that is that not are you pure, but you've been credited with purity. That's what imputation means. Remember, we talked about how imputation means to be credited with something. And so when we're imputed with righteousness, it doesn't mean literally that we're acting in a way that's pure, acting in a way that's perfect, but it means that we have been credited with perfection. We've been credited with purity, and we've been credited with righteousness. So, know in your practical lives, when you sin, it doesn't mean that you've messed up your righteousness. Christ has credited you with His righteousness. The second question was a great question too. It dealt with really the practicality of what it means to be a Christian. The question was, I've surrendered my past to God. I've surrendered my future to God. So what does it look like on a daily basis for me to surrender my life to God? And that is just a great question, because honestly that's what we're all trying to figure out. I think if I were to give an answer to it, I would say something like this. Christ says several times in the Gospels that what it looks like to be a disciple is to pick up your cross daily and to essentially die to yourself, to be crucified. And Paul uses this language too. He says, it's no longer you who lives, but Christ who lives in you, because you've been crucified. And so I think what it looks like is a life of sacrifice. For me, I try to figure out what it is that stirs my affections for Christ. And when I say affections, I mean desires, my passions, my dreams. What is it that makes me think about Him and love Him and care about Him more? Those are my affections. Also, what is it that doesn't stir my affections for Christ? In my personal life, there's several things that I love to do, like watch college football or play sports or work out or you name it. There are things that aren't bad, they're kind of amoral, but I do them anyway, although they don't stir my affections for Christ. So I would encourage anyone who's struggling with that to do things that do stir your affections for Christ. For me, that means loving my wife. It means reading my Bible. It means serving others, helping others, being here with you guys, being a part of FSM, HSM, JAG. It means leading my small group on Wednesday nights. Those are the types of things that stir my affections for Christ, because my mind is on who Christ is, and there's nothing else more beautiful than who Christ is. So that's what it means. It means do the things that stir your affections for Him, because in doing so, you're sacrificing yourself for Him. Also, guys, I want to introduce today's speaker, Angel. She's the small groups director here. You guys love her. She does a great job on a weekly basis. We're thankful she's here. And she's going to be teaching this week on God's justice. What does it mean that God is a just God? So I'm looking forward to hearing it. Have a great day, guys.